Hey, what's up? It's Greg from Fisherman's Headquarters, and today is Friday, October 18th. I'm tucked away here in the dunes, mid-island, Long Beach Island, here to share an updated fish report with you folks. Right now we got some cranking northerly winds, got a pretty churned up ocean right now, and we've got a lower tide. I think it's dropping tide. The time of this report is about 1:30. I think low tide is about 2:45-ish, 2 to 3 o'clock range. So you see it's looking pretty low behind me, and as I talk here, as I share a report, probably see some bigger swells kind of pulling down the beach. We got a low pressure system cranking out there in the Atlantic, I guess a few hundred miles east of here. Got a big northerly flow coming down the beach, big easterly swell in the water. Looks like that's going to kind of linger out, pump along the beaches for this weekend ahead. I see 3 to 5 foot today, it's Friday. A little smaller tomorrow, looks like it pumps back up again on Sunday. About 3 to 5 foot. Not so confident that the reports will actually play out with Saturday, tomorrow fading out. Looks like it's going to be kind of churning along all weekend. So be on the lookout for that. Like I mentioned, we got a little northerly wind action right now, pretty breezy. Say it's blowing 15 to 20, if not gusting a little more. Can share a little news on the fish report side of things. It's been colder weather we've had recently. We've had a number of days, number of cold nights. It's going to bring the water temperatures down. We've also had the shorter days as we progress, further into fall here. Days are getting shorter, less light, colder temperatures, water temperatures declining. Right now off the Long Beach Island surf, we've got low 60-degree range waters, right around 59, 60, 61, maybe 62. I think the mid 60s are behind us. I was out in the boat the other day. I had 62-degree water along most of my drive, and I'll dive into that report in a second or two. The back bays got much colder water temperatures than the ocean. That's what's going to cool off first, much shallower. It's also what warms up first. The bay temperatures are in the mid to lower 50s. Most spots in the bay are, say, 53, 54, 55, 56, maybe even 58. Maybe you got a couple spots that have 6-degree water. More than likely that would be on the incoming tide closer to inlets, you get that ocean influence. But if you get to the further part, the deeper bay, mid-bay, say Ship Bottom, Causeway bridges behind the shop here in Ship Bottom, you're gonna have water temperatures in the mid to lower 50-degree range. So with that said, we've got some fishing action taking place, but we got some transitions also happening. We've got a smaller size bluefish, it seems to be, that are kind of trickling around. Definitely not as good as it was when the mullet run was in the full prime time swing. So a little less bluefish activity. And as far as that mullet run goes, there is still some mullet. Sometimes it lasts right into Halloween, sometimes it even lasts into November, but normally it's slower. This mullet run's definitely been a strong one. Just had a bunch of deliveries. I shouldn't say a bunch of deliveries, but we had a bunch of mullet delivered recently. So we do have fresh mullet in the shop right now. We had some yesterday as well. How long that will progress and play out, it's anybody's guess. Got to stick around and see what happens, see how it plays out. Like I mentioned, there's some smaller bluefish still around. The activity that we had the last few weeks has definitely been on the decline, but there's still bluefish here. Striped bass action definitely is on the slower side, but there is striped bass here. Saw another, say, new weigh-in for the Long Beach Island Surf Fishing Classic. That's the ongoing surf tournament on LBI here. It's 9 weeks, runs into December. I forget the angler's name, I should know that, but I believe it was about a 10 or 11 pound fish. So there's a few striped bass on the board, which is good to see in this early stretches of the tournament. Most of the action has been bluefish, like I mentioned earlier. There's been a pretty good bluefish bite we've had and running along so far with the cocktail blues. And also tog fishing has been very, very good. And some recent trips I had were actually, seemed to see a little pickup, a little increase in the tog activity. I think as the water temperature decreases, you will see that better increase in tog activity. There's been a number of catches of tog. For land-based anglers, it's probably the best fishery we have right now. So hopefully you've been getting in on that action. If not, we've got great fishing all October for tog. Hopefully striped bass kind of increase in activity, and hopefully the bluefish stick around as well. There's been some out-of-season fluke still being caught off the surf. There's also some kingfish around here too. Both fluke and kingfish, that activity should decline, mostly as that water temperature decreases as we progress into fall here. But striped bass will hopefully show up in bigger numbers. Had some better reports coming out of the Monmouth County area. Hopefully those fish start sliding down. We've had some pretty good activity really all summer long with the resident fish. So we'll see how that plays out as we kind of creep in through into the Halloween timeframe. Normally that's when I like to claim it is the best season for striped bass here in Long Beach Island. And when I say the best season, I consider that really Halloween into Thanksgiving is really prime time fall fishing here on the Central Jersey coast. I can share, I was out a number of days, probably 3 trips in the past week since my last report. Can share I had a couple fly trips, catching bluefish, had a blast on the fly. I think we dropped 1 bass, but we didn't have any, say, successful releases. It was all bluefish for us on the fly. I had 2 trips back to back, say earlier this week, say whatever, 5 or so days back. It was windy, we battled through the conditions, but we made it happen. So that was Angler Carl, who's from Bucks County, I believe he came down, repeat client. So had some great weather. A little on the windy side, but it was good weather. A little on the chillier side too. It was good. We had fun, caught a bunch of fish. Also shifted gears on a trip or so, did some tog fishing, caught a bunch of tog. One day, I forget exactly which day it was, but it was a few days back. Had a lot of fish that were all right around that keeper size 15-inch range. Trips before this, I was getting a lot of shorts, but we caught a bunch of keeper fish. We kept one apiece, which was 2 fish total, you know, which is our keeper, say quote unquote limit, which that will open up November 15th to a bigger bag. I think it's November 15th, but I don't really share the regulations right now because once things change, days go by, kind of gets dated. But I can share right now there are good sized tog in the local waters inshore. And as the water temperatures decrease, you may see some more fish moving out of the, say, inlet area, moving onto the reefs, wreck sites. I fished some local wrecks, haven't been on the reefs yet for tog, and had good fishing activity, fishing both green crabs as well as sand fleas. So if you want to get in on that action, that's a great opportunity right now for the rest of this month. And like I mentioned, November, it's going to kick into high gear as well. More so high gear being on the reefs and wreck sites offshore. So it'll be more of a boat game. But there's good fishing right now on the local, say, land-based sites on the, say, inlet, Barnegat Light, on the north end of LBI. You fish the rocks, fish the bulkheads, fish different areas there in the, say, northern reach of the bay. There's also some other spots you can fish on the island, which has some structure. Once again, it's Great Fisherman's Headquarters, so if you're getting out there and gearing up and having a great time catching the fish, have a great day.